Chicago Bears versus Cincinnati Bengals. The lights of Paycor Stadium will shine on two teams heading in opposite directions. The 4-3 Chicago Bears, steady and organized, visit the 3-5 Cincinnati Bengals, bruised and desperate. Chicago sits third in the NFC North, still chasing Green Bay and Detroit, while Cincinnati clings to life in the AFC North race. The odds slightly lean toward the Bears, 55% to 44.7%. But this is no sure thing. It's a clash of form versus frustration, discipline versus desperation. For Chicago, this is about validation, proving their rise isn't a fluke. For Cincinnati, it's survival. Joe Flacco's shoulder injury hovers over the Bengals' hopes like a storm cloud. His availability could define the game's tone and tempo. The Bears come in having won 3 of their last 4, finding rhythm behind rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. The Bengals, meanwhile, are reeling. Close games, missed chances, and mounting injuries have defined their season. The narrative writes itself. One team tightening its identity, the other trying to hold it together. A win for Chicago keeps them alive in the NFC playoff picture. A loss for Cincinnati could bury their season before mid-November. Expect urgency from the opening whistle. Williams leads Chicago's offense with 1,636 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Solid control from a young arm. Running back DeAndre Swift has 464 rushing yards and 4 scores, while Rome Odunze has emerged as the go-to target with 473 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's an offense built on timing, spacing, and balance. Cincinnati's numbers are flashier but riskier. Flacco has thrown for 784 yards and 7 touchdowns, but also 7 interceptions. Chase Brown's 383 rushing yards have come in bursts, while Jamar Chase's 720 receiving yards and 5 scores remain the Bengals' heartbeat. Still, turnovers and red zone stalls have killed drives. Defensively, the Bears have allowed 185 points compared to Cincinnati's 253. Tremaine Edmonds, 64 tackles, and Gervon Dexter Sr., 3.5 sacks, lead a defense that tightens late. The Bengals counter with Trey Hendrickson, 4 sacks, and Davian Knight Jr., 62 tackles. But their inconsistency on third down has cost them dearly. Momentum favors Chicago. They've beaten New Orleans, Washington, and Las Vegas in tight, composed fashion before falling 30-16 to Baltimore. The Bears have averaged 25 points over that stretch and are learning to finish games. Cincinnati has dropped 3 of its last 5, including a 39-38 heartbreaker to the Jets. Their defense has given up 37 or more points 3 times in that span. Even their lone bright spot, a 33-31 win over Pittsburgh, showed more grit than control. The Bengals can fight, but they can't close. Williams plays with precision and poise, 62% completion rate, clean footwork, few risks. His chemistry with Odunze gives Chicago a deep threat that stretches coverage. Flacco is the opposite, fearless but fragile. His arm still flashes brilliance, but the shoulder injury and 7 interceptions reveal the downside. If he starts, expect short throws and quick reads. If not, the Bengals' offense shrinks, leaning heavily on Brown and Chase. It's calm versus chaos. The rookies' structure against the veterans' volatility. Chicago's advantage begins up front. Dexter's interior push and Edmonds' range have stabilized their defense. Expect them to pressure Flacco early and test that shoulder. On offense, the Bears will spread the field and attack Cincinnati's inconsistent linebackers. The Bengals must win on first down to have a chance. Hendrickson's edge rush could be their X factor, but with multiple defenders banged up, execution becomes everything. Missed tackles and blown coverages, recurring issues, can't happen here. Both rosters are hurting. Swift, Burden, and Johnson are out for Chicago. Flacco, Hendrickson, and several defenders are questionable for Cincinnati. Depth will decide who holds up longer, and the team that manages to stay composed under fatigue and pressure will likely seize control late in the game. The Bengals are fighting to stay alive. The Bears are fighting to prove they belong. Chicago's defense is steadier, its offense more efficient, and Williams' decision-making gives them an edge against a unit that's leaking big plays. Expect Cincinnati to battle early, leaning on Burrow's improvisation and Mixon's patience to keep drives alive. But as fatigue and mistakes mount, Chicago's structure should prevail. Final prediction: Chicago Bears 27, Cincinnati Bengals 20. Control beats chaos. The Bears keep climbing in the NFC North, while the Bengals, battered, stubborn, and short-handed, fade late once again, undone by missed tackles and red zone inefficiency. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Chicago Bears winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Los Angeles Chargers versus Tennessee Titans. The Los Angeles Chargers and Tennessee Titans meet in Nashville with two teams moving in completely opposite directions. Los Angeles rides in at 5-3, sitting tied for second in the AFC West and pushing for another playoff berth. Tennessee, meanwhile, sits at 1-7 and dead last in the AFC South, already fighting to avoid a lost season. The Chargers are favored heavily, a commanding 75% chance to win as they chase Denver and Kansas City in a tight divisional race. For the Titans, this game isn't about standings anymore. It's about pride, development, and survival. The stage is set at Nissan Stadium, where the home crowd will try to shake a team searching desperately for rhythm. The Chargers have been defined this season by offensive balance and defensive resolve. Quarterback Justin Herbert has piled up 2,140 passing yards on 201 completions with 16 touchdowns against 7 interceptions, the mark of a confident attacking leader. His top target, Keenan Allen, continues to be a route-running machine with 48 catches, 479 yards, and 4 scores. On the ground, though the Chargers lost Hampton to injury, they've still maintained efficiency through committee rotation. Defensively, edge rusher Tuli Tuipulotu leads the charge with 6 sacks, and linebacker Dion Henley's 52 tackles anchor a defense that can close out games when it counts. Tennessee's tale is tougher. Quarterback C. Ward has thrown for 1,615 yards with 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, numbers that show both flashes of ability and frustrating inconsistency. Running back Tony Pollard remains the Titans' steady engine, grinding out 424 yards on 109 carries, but the passing game has sputtered badly, especially with top wideout Calvin Ridley sidelined by a hamstring injury. Their top active receiver has only 290 yards, underscoring an offense still searching for rhythm. Linebacker Chance Gray's 75 tackles and Jeffrey Simmons's 4.5 sacks show defensive effort, but injuries to Simmons, Arden Key, and Xavier Woods have blunted that impact. This matchup is about momentum. The Chargers enter composed and confident, winning 3 of their last 5, including a dominant 37-10 rout of Minnesota that showcased balance on both sides. Even their losses to Indianapolis and Washington were competitive, not collapses. The Titans, meanwhile, are sliding. 4 straight defeats, most by double digits, with blowouts against the Colts, 38-14, and Patriots, 31-13. Their last win, a narrow 22-21 escape over Arizona, feels distant as their offense sputters to just 13 points per game. One team is ascending, the other is unraveling. At the heart of this matchup is the quarterback duel, Herbert versus Ward. Herbert embodies the modern passer, precise, poised, and lethal from the pocket. Completing 201 of 296 throws, 68%, he's shown growth in timing and decision-making, balancing deep shots with smart checkdowns. Ward, on the other hand, faces mounting pressure. His 58% completion rate and even touchdown-to-pick ratio reflect a forced, inconsistent rhythm. If Tennessee's line collapses under Tuipulotu and the Chargers rush, Ward may spend more time escaping pressure than finding open targets. Tactically, this matchup tilts toward Los Angeles. Their passing game is balanced, with Allen stretching defenses and backs converting short yardage. Tennessee's weakened secondary will struggle to handle the Chargers' spacing, especially without Woods and Ridley to steady field position. Defensively, Los Angeles can pressure with 4 while keeping linebackers on Pollard and screens. Missing Simmons and Key, the Titans lack pocket disruption, giving Herbert time to work. The Chargers' adaptability and road poise, 2-1 away, give them the clear edge. Still, every NFL Sunday writes its own chaos. The Titans will look to slow the game, control possession with Pollard, and hope the home crowd fuels a few takeaways. The Chargers must avoid early turnovers and penalties that let Tennessee hang around. If they start fast, the game could tilt quickly. If they stumble, it could get muddy in the Nashville chill. In the end, discipline and execution define the difference. The Chargers are simply playing sharper football. Their passing attack is precise, their defensive line is active, and their quarterback has the poise of a contender. Tennessee, banged up and searching for answers, will fight, but the gaps in health and identity are too wide. Expect Los Angeles to seize control early, withstand a few physical drives, and close with confidence. Prediction: Chargers 31, Titans 17. Los Angeles keeps its playoff push rolling behind Herbert's accuracy and a defense that clamps down when it matters. Tennessee shows fight, but the matchup and the moment belong to the Bolts. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Chargers winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Indianapolis Colts versus Pittsburgh Steelers. The red-hot Indianapolis Colts storm into Pittsburgh riding a 7-1 start. The class of the AFC South and one of the league's most balanced teams. Across the field stand the 4-3 Steelers, battling inconsistency but clinging to second place in the AFC North. The stakes are clear. Indianapolis looks to cement its dominance and keep pace atop the conference, while Pittsburgh fights to stay relevant in a tightening divisional race. The matchup predictor tilts toward the visitors, roughly 59% confidence in the Colts. But inside Acrisure Stadium, nothing comes easy. The Steelers are desperate, the Colts are surging, and this one feels like a test of control versus chaos. Indianapolis has been a model of efficiency. Quarterback Daniel Jones has thrown for 2,062 yards with 13 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions, commanding an offense that blends precision passing with punishing ground control. Jonathan Taylor has regained his all-pro stride, 850 rushing yards and 12 scores on 143 carries, setting the tone for an attack that ranks among the AFC's most explosive. Tight end Tyler Warren adds balance underneath with 492 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, often the safety valve when defenses collapse on Taylor. On defense, DeForest Buckner anchors the line with 4 sacks, while safety Nick Cross leads the team with 56 tackles, showcasing a disciplined, aggressive front 7 that forces offenses to grind for every inch. Pittsburgh counters with a mix of veteran savvy and grit. Aaron Rodgers, steady but constrained by injuries and protection issues, has thrown for 1,489 yards and 16 touchdowns, though 5 interceptions reveal some forced plays behind an inconsistent line. Jaylen Warren has carried the rushing load with 373 yards, while DK Metcalf provides the spark outside with 461 yards and 5 touchdowns on 27 receptions. Defensively, the Steelers rely heavily on linebacker Nick Herbig, who leads with 4.5 sacks, and Patrick Wilson, whose 57 tackles speak to how often he's been forced to clean up downfield. It's a defense that bends, 175 points allowed through 7 games, and occasionally breaks, struggling to contain top-tier run games. Both teams tell contrasting stories through their last 5 outings. Indianapolis hasn't just been winning, it's been dismantling opponents. A 5-game win streak featuring scores of 38-14, 31-27, and 40-6 highlights a team that can bury you early or outlast you late. The Colts have scored at least 31 points in 4 of those 5 matchups, dominating time of possession and dictating tempo. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, has gone 2-3 in that span and dropped its last two. Losses to Cincinnati, 33-31, and Green Bay, 35-25, exposed a defense that's fading in the fourth quarter. The Steelers' two wins, both by narrow margins, 24-21 and 23-9, show a team that can scrap but struggles to separate. Momentum, right now, belongs entirely to Indianapolis. It's Daniel Jones versus Aaron Rodgers, youth against experience. Jones has been sharp, completing 71% of his throws and minimizing mistakes, thriving off play action. Rodgers still flashes brilliance, but his 68% rate and rising sacks show wear. His connection with Metcalf is a threat, yet Indy's secondary excels at forcing veteran errors. This battle is about trust. Jones trusts his scheme, while Rodgers struggles to trust his line. This matchup hinges on control. The Colts can win up front. Their line protects Jones, while Buckner leads a fierce pass rush. Expect Indy to attack Pittsburgh's weakened linebackers with runs and quick screens. Pittsburgh's line, meanwhile, must protect Rodgers from Buckner and Stewart. Jaylen Warren is the X factor. If he sustains drives, the Steelers stay in it. If not, this could unravel fast. The injury report favors Indianapolis slightly. Lewis, Ebukam, and Gould are out, with Stewart questionable, but the Colts' depth remains steady. Pittsburgh loses Holcomb, Clark, Peppers, and Trice Jr., further thinning its secondary. With Indy on a 5-game surge, the edge tilts clearly their way. So, how does it play out? The Steelers bring pride, grit, and the roar of Acrisure Stadium, but the Colts bring balance, confidence, and the league's most stable rhythm. Taylor's ground dominance opens play-action shots for Jones, and the defense limits Rodgers' late-game heroics. Indianapolis controls tempo, protects the ball, and pulls away in the second half. Prediction: Colts 31, Steelers 21. Discipline, depth, and a quarterback who's playing smarter than he's ever been, that's the difference. The Colts keep rolling, Pittsburgh keeps searching, and the AFC race gets one contender clearer. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Indianapolis Colts winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. New Orleans Saints versus Los Angeles Rams. The lights of SoFi Stadium are set to blaze on Sunday, and one storyline towers above them all: a rookie quarterback walking into a lion's den. The 1-7 New Orleans Saints, battered, bruised, and winless on the road, turn to Tyler Show for his first NFL start against a Los Angeles Rams team that's surging at 5-2 and tied atop the NFC West. The contrast couldn't be starker. The Rams are rolling toward playoff relevance, while the Saints are searching for any sign of hope. The odds tell the story. Los Angeles enters with a commanding 84.9% win probability, and for good reason. For New Orleans, this isn't just another game. It's a chance to reclaim dignity in a season that slipped away early. For Los Angeles, it's a statement opportunity, a home showcase to prove their dominance belongs among the NFC's elite. The stakes are clear: survival for one, supremacy for the other. Quarterback Sam Rattler leads the Saints' offense with 1,586 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, completing 174 of 256 throws. Across the field, Matthew Stafford continues to drive the Rams' engine, posting 1,866 yards, 17 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions on 160 completions. A sharp, efficient veteran performance that defines their 5-2 start. In the ground game, Alvin Kamara, listed as questionable with an ankle issue, has been the heartbeat of the Saints' attack, tallying 363 rushing yards and a touchdown on 100 carries. His health looms large. Without him, the Saints lose both balance and identity. For the Rams, Kieran Williams has powered through for 472 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns, a punishing pace that keeps defenses honest and sets up Stafford's deep strikes. Through the air, Chris Olave leads the Saints with 503 receiving yards and 3 scores, while Puka Nacua, the Rams' breakout star, has amassed 616 yards and 2 touchdowns, a reliable weapon in all zones. Defensively, Cameron Granderson's 4.5 sacks highlight the Saints' front, but he'll be staring down one of the NFL's most balanced offensive lines. Byron Young's 9 sacks for the Rams tell you everything about their defensive ferocity. Add DeMarco Davis's 71 tackles and Nate Landman's 67, and both sides bring hitting power, though the Rams unit has proven far more disciplined, allowing just 117 points all season to New Orleans' 209. This matchup isn't subtle. It's Rams' power and precision versus Saints' inconsistency and attrition. Momentum rules November, and the Saints have lost theirs. 4 straight defeats, each under 24 points, losses to Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Buffalo, have drained their spark. Their last bright spot, a 26-14 win over the Giants, now feels like a distant memory. Los Angeles is surging, winning 3 of their last 4, including a 35-7 rout of Jacksonville and a 17-3 statement over Baltimore. Their lone setback, a 26-23 overtime loss to San Francisco, hardly dented momentum. Stafford's offense hums efficiently, the defense pounces on mistakes, and at home, they're nearly impenetrable. One team is building a playoff case, the other is just trying to stay upright. This is where tension peaks. Stafford, precise and poised, is thriving behind solid protection. With 17 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions, he's in full command, reading pressure, timing throws, and distributing with calm precision. For rookie Tyler Show, it's a trial by fire. Facing a defense that thrives on rattling newcomers, he'll lean on short reads and play action, but Byron Young's pressure will test every decision. Stafford plays chess, Show's still learning the rules. The Rams' approach is efficient and punishing. They win early downs, protect the ball, and make opponents chase. Allowing just 117 points, their defense ranks among the NFC's toughest. With Williams steady on the ground and Nacua reliable through the air, their balance rarely breaks. For New Orleans, it's a steeper challenge. Kamara's health controls their rhythm. Without him, Rattler or Shu must face a fast, unpredictable pass rush. The defense, giving up over 26 points per game, hasn't created stops or turnovers consistently. Watch for the trenches, the Rams' front 7 versus the Saints' shaky offensive line. That's where this game tips. Another factor, the crowd at SoFi, confident and loud, adding pressure on every rookie snap. This matchup feels one-sided. The Rams have the structure, confidence, and quarterback play to dictate the game. New Orleans, plagued by injuries and turnovers, faces a steep climb. Olave and Kamara may flash, but LA's balance and pressure should prove too much. Final score, Rams 31, Saints 13. Experience, execution, and a home field surge separate contenders from strugglers. And on Sunday, Los Angeles will look every bit the contender they are. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Los Angeles Rams winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.